Welcome guys to the post-match video of Liverpool thrashing Watford 6-1. 6 goals to 1, Dan. We were all over them.
Thrashing? More like thrushing. We were all over them like thrush.
The LFC Cast.
In association with LFConline.com.
Please like, share and subscribe.
Okay, let's start by talking about the team lineup. So we pretty much predicted what was going to happen with Milner coming in for Moreno. The only one we didn't really see was Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas coming in for Lovren, and I don't think that would have, I think that was a forced change because Lovren apparently has a virus. I'm a little bit worried about Lovren because he pulled out the Croatia squad for personal reasons and now he's got a virus. I'm not too sure. I hope he has got a virus.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hope he's got a virus. I don't hope
it's nothing more serious.
Yeah, I hope it's nothing more serious than a virus, but it seems a bit weird, that one. But yeah, you know, Lucas came in, he did a good job, and Emre Can's still in the team as well. We thought Wijnaldum might have got into the team, but no.
No, Can was class as well, wasn't he? He's really, really good.
Doing a great job.
Yeah. So on a previous video we said we'd read out the score predictions. In fact we said we'd read out all the score predictions, Dan.
We did indeed, Greg. So I'm going to read them all out now for you. We had Jezza Kyle with a 3-0 win. Unlucky, not quite Jezza Kyle. And then we had well, that was it, wasn't it, Greg? That was the only one.
That was the only one on YouTube, but we did have quite a few on Facebook. So the nearest one on Facebook was Revato Katis Labati.
Labati, Mr. Labati, we like to call him. Yeah. And he got, what, 5-1?
5-1, so he was so close until the last 5-10 minutes of the game.
And to be fair, this game could have been about 8-1, 9-1, 10-1.
Could have been.
We were battering them.
It could have been 6-0 at half time.
Could have been.
Okay, Dan, so defence. You know, let's talk about defence. So how do you think they did?
Okay, well, first talking about the goalkeeper, Karius. He didn't have to do anything in the first half. I don't think there was no saves he had to make, really. In the second half, he had a lot to do, and to be honest with you, he done really well.
He did. He
did. You know, he conceded, that goal was conceded. I don't think it was his fault. But before then, they had about 3 clear chances, which he saved very well.
He did. He had a really strong game. You know, good solid 7-8 out of 10.
Yeah, good solid 7-8 out of 10. I also think that it's good for him in a way. I know I don't like us, you know, getting shots against us and conceding goals, but it was good for him to have a few saves.
It was, yeah, and it's such a shame that we couldn't keep a clean sheet. You know, we're doing so well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame, but he did do very good.
He did. How about the defence, Greg? How do you think the defence done overall?
I thought they did okay. You know, there's still a few errors in there, but I thought Matip is solid, isn't he? He's brilliant. Yeah, I really like the guy. Lucas came in, did a job for us, definitely. Yeah. You know, Klein, Milner, they're solid as well, aren't they?
They are solid, and as you can see from Milner, he was up the pitch, making crosses, to, you know, having shots on goal. He's fantastic as a left back, isn't he? And like, I don't think he ever foreseen himself being a left back.
I don't think he wants to be a left back, Dan, but you know, he's such a professional that he'll go in there and he'll work his socks off in any position. And you know, he's great at it, isn't he? He's one of those footballers that can sort of go anywhere around the pitch.
Yeah,
you know, he's similar to Lucas, really.
Yeah, he's a utility player.
Yeah.
You know, you put him in left back, he'll do a job. Put him up front, he'll do a job. Yeah. That's how good he is. Put him in goal, he'll be better than Mignolet. I'm harsh on Mignolet, aren't I?
You are very harsh, man.
So moving on to midfield, Henderson, Lallana and Emre Can. I mean, speaking of which, Emre Can has been fantastic for us, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's keeping Wijnaldum out of the team.
He is, he's doing, you know, I said in the last video, he's getting better and better, and in this game, still getting better, you know. Wijnaldum, he's a good player, but he's going to be on the bench for a while, I think.
It's good though that he got a goal today, Wijnaldum, so he's still in Klopp's thoughts, and he's a good option off the bench. But Emre Can also got a goal, second game in a row now, and it was a lovely little header. In fact, I'm pretty sure we scored a few headers, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, man.
Was it Emre Can, Mane?
Yeah.
Who else? So after a lot of research, we didn't score that many headers actually, we scored 2.
2. Okay, so moving on to Henderson.
Yeah.
You know, again, solid, Dan.
The silent master, I like to call him. I've coined the phrase, the silent master.
When we watch the game, Dan will say certain things like that. It's like, the silent master, and you're going to use that later in the video.
I am going to use that later. The silent master. No, I thought that he had a really good game. He tidies everything up as usual. He makes some great passes. And he sets up a lot, to be honest with you. He builds up from the back and he puts a lot of crosses in. He puts a lot of passes in.
He does, and just the energy of the guy, you know, he doesn't stop running. He's got like, he's a machine, isn't he?
Deserved captain?
At the moment, yeah, you know, I've said to you before, I see Can in the future being a captain of Liverpool, but at the minute, yeah, I think Henderson's deserved.
Definitely, Greg. Emre Can's growing into that role more and more. He's fantastic. And Lallana as well, he just runs his socks off, doesn't he? He doesn't stop playing. That three in the middle is solid.
Yeah, you know, Henderson and Lallana, you know, the machines, they don't stop. They're just running the whole game.
And they allow Firmino, Coutinho and Mane to play about a little bit. They can piss about a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's talk about the front three. Yeah. You know, absolutely explosive, brilliant, Dan, you know. There's no other players like them in the Premiership, the way they work.
Them three at the moment are just, they're the best in the league at what they do, and they provide something different. Coutinho provides all the skills and the shots from outside the box. Firmino makes them runs, he provides them tap-in finishes, and Mane with the runs he makes, and also with a great header as well.
Do you know what I like about Firmino and Coutinho? They're only small guys, but they're so strong and solid on the ball.
Yeah, definitely, and I like the way they track back as well. Firmino was doing a lot of running, and you don't notice it as much, but I found that Coutinho was doing a lot of challenges, getting the ball, little, you know, just getting his foot in to disrupt the play a bit. I think he's brilliant. And Mane, again, he's a powerhouse. He's very small and skinny, isn't he? But he runs so fast, and he's got a lot of strength about him.
And that's what Klopp wants, doesn't he? He wants players who will just run, track back, win the ball back, you know, not people who are just there just to have some shots. And I think that's what happens with Sturridge sometimes, and why Klopp maybe doesn't always use him.
That is perfect, Greg, because obviously I was thinking just that then. Yeah, definitely, Greg. Sturridge coming on. It was great to see him coming on the pitch, but like you said, he had gloves on, long sleeved, and you were like...
I was fuming, wasn't I, about the gloves?
If I was Klopp, I'd say, get them gloves off!
Yeah. Work hard, get your hands warm, score some goals, don't just walk around with gloves on.
It's a good point though, because, you know, Lallana comes off, he looks freezing, he's got short sleeves on, short shorts on. Who wears short shorts? Short shorts. But the point I'm making still stands. He looks dead soft, and you know, it ties into his injuries as well. When Klopp's saying, you know, he's got to understand when he's injured and not injured. When you look at Milner's ready to come on. He doesn't want to come off the pitch. Sturridge looks like he's like, oh.
And we're not completely against Sturridge, but there was a couple of times on the pitch, you know, where he bottled out of challenges. He didn't go for the header because the keeper was coming.
Ducked out.
And I really like the guy. And how much did we want him to score when he came on?
And to be fair, he had some amazing chances. He hit the bar, he hit the post. So we were willing him to get that goal. But he's just got to keep trying. And I don't think he can get into the team at the moment with them three front three.
No, I don't either.
No.
And Wijnaldum came onto the pitch and he got a goal, Dan.
He did indeed, Greg. He was great.
Yeah,
you know, he done a solid job when he come on, and getting that goal, I think that helps him so much, because he looks like he's been a bit desperate, hasn't he, to get a goal?
Yeah, definitely. But do you know what I like about him? When you see him come off the bench, come on the pitch, he's got a smile on his face. He's talking to Klopp. He doesn't look like a player who sulks.
And what a lovely smile.
It's beautiful. But seriously, it's great that we've got the likes of Wijnaldum that we can bring on, and Sturridge that we can bring on. We haven't had that type of quality from the bench in a long time, Dan.
Very long time. I fail to remember when it was that good, having a bench where you can bring on Sturridge and Wijnaldum. Do you know what I mean? Two great players. So moving on now to the man of the match, I'm going to go for Coutinho. What a player! The guy is just sensational, and I can't wait till next season when he's playing for Barcelona.
Oh no, don't say that.
Do you reckon he will?
I hope not, Dan.
I reckon he's going to go Barcelona in the summer, you know. He's that good.
Klopp's got to keep him.
Yeah, and if we get in the Champions League and win the league, then there's a good chance we will keep him.
Do you know, I say Klopp's got to keep him, but how have things changed in Liverpool since Klopp's been around?
Klopp's been amazing, Greg, and I'm guessing we don't need to do your man of the match, by the way, because it's Coutinho, isn't it?
Hasn't it?
Brilliant on the ball, great goals, great setup, great runs. He's just brilliant. Do you know what? Let's just do a video, Greg, where we just say Coutinho's man of the match, and we'll just put it at the end of each video.
Yeah.
Because he's always man of the match.
Yeah, but moving on to Klopp, you know, how have things changed with not just the players on the pitch, the whole club, the whole feel. You know, he's just seemed to have simplified everything about the club.
He has. He's amazing. He's got this presence about him. You know, there was a clip at the end of the game where we conceded and we messed up on defence a little bit. Klopp's booting off at the players. We're 5-1 up, and he's like that. He doesn't talk like that. I've just, you know, I'm guessing. But it's nice to see that he's so passionate, and like you said, simplified everything. We play a certain way, we play a certain style. We don't deviate from that style. We just keep going. Even in the press room when we're getting asked questions, it's like the answer's that. It's simple. What about this? just give you the answer.
Yeah. What's great as well, you get teams who are playing, you know, a certain way and it's working for them, and then other teams work them out and come in, and then they can only do it for so long. With us, the way we play up front, you know, teams can't work us out because they're interlocking, changing sides, moving around. They just can't work us out.
I think the thing is, even if they work us out, it's like, well, do we even remedy it?
Yeah.
Oh, we've worked it out. They're just passing the ball around us here. Oh well, it's 6-0.
We'll just have 10 defenders.
And finally, before we go, we just want to mention Danny Ings, who is unfortunately out for the rest of the season with a knee injury again, and a separate knee injury at that. It's not the same thing. Greg, disappointing?
Yeah, it's such a shame for him. You know, he's been working so hard to get back, and we don't really know where he was in Klopp's plans. If he was in Klopp's plans, we hope he was, because we really like Danny Ings. But you know what's going to happen in the future now? He's already been out for so long. He's going to be out for such a long time again. Is he going to be a Liverpool player in the future?
It's going to be difficult for him. I personally can't see him getting back into the squad now. I think when he gets fit, he'll play a couple of games, big part next season, and I think he'll be sold on, maybe even as soon as the summer. But we wish him a speedy recovery nonetheless. And you know what? Prove us wrong, Danny Ings. Prove us wrong. Be number one. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please sub to LFC Cast. We put that there just in case no one could understand us saying that. So there's a bit of art there to say sub to LFC Cast. And also,
just one more thing. Everton 5-0. Top of the league.
Top of the league, baby. Poof.